this guy Meek Mill was supposed to visit the White House to take part in a panel that was to include, I guess, Vice President Mike Pence and Jared Kushner and Van Jones, who is obviously very much to the left. They're bringing people who are right and left, black and white, to talk about these issues, which is what they should do if they're going to discuss these issues. Well, Meek Mill was supposed to go, and then he bailed. He bailed because, according to TMZ, Jay-Z called him up and convinced him otherwise. So according to Bossip.com, I never heard of him, they said that reports were released that Meek agreed to travel to 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue to discuss prison reform because Trump is currently hosting a prison reform summit. Participants in attendance are said to include members of Congress, various activists, and people who have become victims of the system. But it looks like Meek isn't going to make it to the event, and that's all due to words of wisdom from Hav. I guess Hav is Jay-Z? Is that okay? Okay, TMZ reports that Jay-Z called the Philadelphia native on Thursday night and made his stance clear. Meeting with Trump would be nothing but problematic for both his image and the cause he's fighting for. Apparently, other high-profile celebs and friends also called Meek and voiced serious concerns about his attendance. Meek listened to the advice from his peers and decided not to attend after all. Okay, so here's the problem. For 8 years, everybody in the Black Lives Matter movement was suggesting the law enforcement system is biased and that criminal justice reform had to be pursued. And now Donald Trump's going to do that. And you're not going to go meet with him? Because to meet with him would be undermine the cause? How is it undermining the cause? No Democratic House of Representatives. Let's say the Democrats win the election in 2018. Let's say that they win back the House. They probably won't win back the Senate. You think criminal justice reform is going to get done with Nancy Pelosi as the head? Not a shot, because she's going to put a bunch of deal killers in that bill. It's not going to happen. The only way criminal justice reform gets done with Trump as president is right now with a bunch of Republicans in the House and a bunch of Republicans in the Senate and President Trump in the White House. If you want a deal, you need to talk to the guy who's capable of making the deal. It is that simple. But Jay-Z doesn't want the image of a bunch of black people meeting with Trump because it might make Trump seem not as racist to the press. That's really what this is about. So Meek gave a statement to TMZ. He said, I was originally scheduled to be part of the panel on prison reform at the White House to help shed light on the issues within the system. Unfortunately, the focus turned to the president and myself, which concerned me that it might take away from creating a positive result from today's discussions. Well, no, the whole point here was that President Trump wanted to meet with leaders in the black community, left and right, so that they could have a broad-ranging discussion and hopefully come to some sort of consensus on the issue. There's no way to come to consensus on the issue if you won't attend the meeting. And what do you expect Trump to do at that point? I mean, frankly, I'm confused by this, but this is why the entire Kanye West saga of the last few weeks actually matters. Because when Kanye West said, listen, I'm not going to listen to you guys. If I feel like meeting with Trump, I'll meet with Trump. If I feel like wearing a MAGA hat, I'll wear a MAGA hat. And everybody on the left went nuts. And people inside the rap community went crazy, right? And Kanye was tweeting out all of the various tweets he was receiving and texts he was receiving from people like John Legend. And Kanye, to his credit, said, listen, I'll say what I want. That's exactly what Meek should have said here. What he should have said is, listen, this is too important an issue for me to let partisanship get in the way. It's too important an issue for me to solve. I don't like stuff that Trump has said. I'm not going to pretend that I think that Trump has been great on racial issues. But if I can get a win here, why wouldn't I go and help my fellow black folks who apparently are very much ensconced in this fight for criminal justice reform? Instead, Meek said, I decided not to attend so that the focus would be solely on fixing our prison system. Most importantly, I remain fully committed to improving our criminal justice system. But I'm going to insult the president of the United States by pulling out of the deal because Jay-Z told me to. Now, when partisanship trumps even the best interest that you are apparently trying to pursue, I would suggest that you have allowed your partisanship to blind you to the actual facts on the ground. And that really is too bad.